Hello, hello, Cancer. Welcome to your August 2018 overview reading. This is good for you if you're a sun, moon, or rising Cancer. And just go ahead, if there's any specific information you are looking to have come up during this reading, go ahead and set your intention. And then feel into your body if there's anything that wants to come up today. And we'll see what this month has in store for you. First thing coming up for Cancer, the word of the month is process. Be curious about how you do it. Find a flow that works for you. Give the work time and space to unfold. Rushing will only delay things further in the end. Okay, so give it time, and don't push yourself too hard this month because it looks like that's not really going to serve you as far as an approach goes. It's actually going to be better to take your time and do what works for you. Okay, and then we also have authentic. So being yourself, being honest, being straightforward, being real about your desires and your curiosities and what it is that you want. So that's a big thing that's coming up. And remember, are you looking at this through the lens of what other people's expectations are, or are you doing this for yourself? That's the big question you want to ask right now. And then the affirmation we have is spontaneity. Do you like spontaneous adventures of the highest caliber? The only acceptable answer to this question is yes. So buckle up, Charlie. You're about to take a wild ride through the unexplored, unconventional, and underrated. You're about to learn that yes is a magic word with the power to unlock new dimensions in space. Time and after hours hangouts, yes, will lead you to experiences you didn't think possible and teach you that lifelong friendships are something lurking just behind karaoke singer's mullet. There's a pretty good chance your name is not Charlie. That's what the fine print says at the bottom. So saying yes this month. My one word of caution is make sure you're checking in with your body. Before you say yes, you don't want to do something you're uncomfortable with or something that doesn't feel good. So just make sure you're checking in with yourself along the way. And the central energy for you this month is the Hierophant. Structure, boundaries, communication. This also can have a lot to do with institutions. So for those of you who are in the process of getting jobs, going back to school, getting things organized, I think that August is a month of structure, discipline, organization, and getting all your ducks in a row. The crossing energy is strength. So you're getting the things that you want and need. You are making progress. And this is really about knowing your own power is going to be helpful. It's kind of like confidence is your best friend this month. And there is a certain level of just faking it till you make it a little bit with confidence, right? It only works so far, but there's something about if you just try the outfit on first, even if it's uncomfortable, walk through this month trying something that maybe you're uncomfortable with in terms of confidence and charging ahead, and just see what happens. Like, use it as a lab for yourself and see how it feels. You don't have to, and if you don't like it, you don't like it. It's not a big deal. There's no harm in doing it. So just try it out and see if you can really wear that, because this is Leo energy. So try to wear that as much as you can, and it might actually help you get more things done. What you have shifting out this month is the Magician. So it looks like this past period was a time of manifestation and cultivating what you want. Now you're getting more into taking action. So where before it was kind of drawing up the blueprint for yourself, now is the time when you're really going for it. So this is starting to look more like a masculine period where it's a time for you to go after what you want, take action, get things done, make things happen, pursue, in a way that is non-threatening. So that's kind of one of the things. If you come at it from desperation and I have to have this, it'll actually push stuff away. So you want to pursue as in, I'm making myself available and saying yes to what I want. That's the difference between pursuing and acting out of desperation. The oncoming energy for you is the Page of Swords. I'm going to clarify this card. Page of Swords again. Okay. All right. I get it. Okay. So the Page of Swords, honestly, I think that whatever you've been manifesting and then your pursuits, your efforts in the month of August are going to lead to something that you weren't really anticipating, like your thoughts, the way that you are thinking about what you want or how it's popping up is going to be different from what you expected. So just to be open to the fact that it might not look the way you were expecting. Just open yourself up to that, because there's a lot of, I just knocked that. Because there's a lot of good that's coming in. It's just about being open to the unexpected. That's kind of what this is reminding me of. It almost reminds me of the Wheel of Fortune a little bit, the way that I'm intuitively reading this. So just be open. That's the best policy as you make these efforts. It's kind of like your manifestations are coming in. You did all that work. You laid the foundation. You laid the groundwork for what you wanted. Now you're going to start pursuing those things. And then when it actually comes up, you're going to have that aha, epiphany moment where you might feel like things are actually shifting. The outward manifestation is the Five of Wands. You're working things out. It might feel a little bit chaotic. It might feel like, gosh, I have all these, my hand in 15 different pots, or like you have a whole bunch of things going on. It might feel a little hectic. Let me clarify this one as well. I don't think it's bad. I think it's just you navigating this and working things out for yourself. Page of Cups. Be gentle with yourself. Don't have the expectation that you need to have all the answers, or you need to work it all out, or you need to know everything ahead of time. You're working towards that, but this is new for you. So just cut yourself a little bit of slack and remember that you are getting things done in a really large capacity. So just be open with that. And also the curiosity is popping up again. Like, be curious about how you do it rather than judgmental and having high expectations in terms of you doing it perfectly. Perfectionism is not your friend. You kind of just want to go for it first without having a huge plan around it. And that's actually going to get better results. In the subconscious, Ace of Pentacles, that initiation, this is the pursuer energy that I was talking about. You planting the seed, you initiating, you getting things done, and, kind of calling in what you want through yeses. That's why the spontaneity card came up. And doing what feels right for you, just make sure it's authentic to yourself and what it is that's aligned with who you're becoming, what you want long term. That's always where you want to put your focus if you're looking for answers on how to approach or what to do next or what steps to take. It's all about what are you saying yes to and how does it add up with what you want long term. The advice for you is the World. Remember that things are coming together. Remember that this is all working out in your favor. Remember that there's a bigger picture at play. That's going to help you with this. The Five of Wands energy, even though I do like dealing with the Five of Wands because it's kind of like this is this conflict is where you learn, you improvise, and you grow exponentially. So if you can remind yourself that the world is about the bigger picture and that this is just a few components of a much larger plan, goal, objective, and a lot of stuff that you're not seeing right now, it's going to help you stay present. So just be open, be open, be open to things. The external influences, Nine of Swords, I think it's scary. It is kind of nerve-wracking, especially if you're used to having everything go the way you want it to, or having expectations around what this looks like or what the result is. Expectations are not going to serve you. It's actually going to ignite fear. So just remember that the Nine of Swords is more coming from you than from reality. It might just be the way it feels or the way you're perceiving this is igniting fear, but it's not legitimate. It's not the only answer. It's not the only thing at play here. Hopes and fears for Cancer, the Hanged Man. I think that there's two sides of this coin. You have, I don't really want change because change is scary. And then there's, I'm worried that nothing will change. I'm worried that things will stay the same. Just keep in mind that while things are going to change and they are going to evolve, it's not something where I don't really think it's cause for concern. It's like one of two things is going to happen. Either you're going to get so uncomfortable that you don't have a choice but to change, or it's something where things carry on for a while and it just means that things stay complacent. But at a certain point, if it's pressing enough, you're going to change regardless. So it's kind of like without action, that's one of the things that can actually cause kind of like that tower energy, like the breaking down and being swept off your feet. So just keep in mind, if you want results, if you want something to change, then you kind of have to initiate that. Otherwise, the universe is going to do it for you. It's going to be like, okay, you've been asking for this, but you're not budging. I'm going to go ahead and give you the kick that you need to make that happen. So just remember that it is better to lean into fear and say, I am scared and I'm going to do it anyway. That is a better policy than staying small and feeding into fear. Okay, so just remember that it is better to take action because, and do it even if you're scary, rather than to wait for there to be a nudge, like a big uncomfortable one later on. So just be proactive, remember that. And the outcome of August, we have the Seven of Swords, moving away from things that don't work. It's definitely like what I just said. You do this, you take action, you move forward with confidence even if you're scared, and there's payoff. But it also means that you're going to leave a large part of what you wanted behind. Just from a change in perspective, that's honestly what I think this is. I'm going to clarify the Seven of Swords as well. Because it's like, this isn't working. The Hanged Man isn't working for you. That's not actually something that's helpful or beneficial. Five of Pentacles. So it is all about disappointment. I actually think that the Five of Pentacles is you being hard on yourself, because you have there's the glyph of Saturn. Do you see that right there? So that is kind of the energy of being really, really hard on yourself. And like, if you don't do it, then, or if you don't move or you don't make progress, then it's going to be delivered. So just be proactive. I'm not even going to speak any more to it. Just be proactive about it. Chase what you want, or get after what you want. Not chasing, like I said, that can create a block, but really say yes to the right things. Okay, now we're doing the timeline. So if you're new to my channel, I start out with the first quarter, week-ish of August, and then I work my way second, third, and fourth quarter, so that's where you end up. First quarter, we have heart chakra. No surprise, since this is a Cancer reading. So heart chakra is all that Leo energy as well. Self-concept, deepest desires, looking into what it is that you want and need. This is about identifying what's going on and what it is that you're looking for. Okay? Card number 2, or quarter 2, we have initiation. Yep, that's this. Ace of Pentacles. It's that same thing where it's like you have to take the first step. And if you don't do that, then it's kind of like you're going to be at a standstill. So initiate what you want. Just, it's all about making it happen in some way. I also want to mention, if you have, if you watched another reading where the message was like to receive instead, I'm just throwing this out there because I know that some of you, not everyone is a triple Cancer. So it's like, if you feel like you're getting conflicting messages between videos, what I would say is do what feels right for you. So if one resonates more than the other, then go with the one that feels more like the approach that you need to take this month. I just felt like I needed to remind you guys, if you're getting that conflicting, well, in the other video, she told us to receive and not to like go after what we want. Then go with your gut, go with your intuition about what feels better and is more aligned with where you're at in your life right now and the amount of energy that you have. So I just wanted to mention that. But it looks like this is where you identify what you want, you're taking action. And then third quarter, we have conflict. This is with the, I'm scared, I don't know, is this right? Am I doing everything okay? This is where all the perfectionism shows up. It's like the uncertainty of, is this working, is this not? Is this in alignment with me, is this not? So this is where you take inventory. This is where you check yourself, and this is also where the Five of Wands shows up. It's, okay, I don't know how everything is going to come together. I don't know how everything is going to work out. So that is all that we have showing up in terms of conflict. It's you have to trust yourself. Whenever the conflict card comes up, remember, step away from people pleasing, focus on what you want, focus on what you need, and ask yourself if the decisions you're making are in alignment with what you want long term. That is the question for you, because you have a lot of fear pictures coming up. You have, worry about stagnation. You have a little bit of conflict in what you want. So you have to keep your eye on the prize. And the fourth quarter, chakra love. Man, this card came up a lot in August for a whole bunch of signs. So again, I remind you guys, when chakra love comes up, that means that there needs to be some work done energetically, whether it be on your own or with a practitioner. And as always, you guys know how I feel about safety. And so for you, this is going to be about finding a practitioner that resonates with you, that feels good to you. Whether or not that's me, it's more about, somebody who does energetic work. That's what, by the way, that's what I do for a living. Like, that's what a one-on-one session is. But this is just reminding you that you need to get a tune-up in some way. And it's from this conflict. So you might be feeling like you're not yourself, or maybe you have an attachment, or something's going on. And so it just looks like and you can do a lot of this yourself if you know how. Otherwise, you might want somebody to support you. That's kind of what is coming up here. Because some people, if you already know your chakra system really well and you know what's going on, and you know how to clear yourself, then that's always an option too. But just safety, 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 comfort, work with somebody that you like. Okay, now for the 3-card pick, go ahead and check to see which card is calling you, which one feels right for you. Okay. Oh, and you can ask a question if you want as well. Card number 1, Justice, balance, equilibrium. Looking at this from a place of what am I giving? What am I taking? What's in balance? What's out of balance? This looks more like the taking inventory piece. Right here with the conflict, it's about how can we, and you know, there's a reference to scales here as well. So it's about how can we work this out. Card number 2, we have Ace of Swords, independent thinking, new ideas, big picture, big vision. And I think that this is going to be a good time to go back to a vision board, go back to look at the manifestations that you've set and do some revising. That is going to be really helpful for you. And then we have card number 3, Ace of Cups, new love or abundant self-care. Either way, you are getting something is overflowing in abundance land. So this, it looks relational, you know, that's one of Cancer's gifts. So it's just about, you know, loving yourself first. Remember that the more you do that, it's very cliche, but as you do that, it is reflected in your external world. So just make sure you're still working that, and it's going to pan out in a lot of ways. Sometimes there is more work to be done. Sometimes, you know, there are other things going on, which I'm not going to get into, but this is just reminding you to keep that up. Don't slack off on it, because there's more that you're going to get out of this if you continue. All right, that is all that I have for you today. Thank you so much, Cancer, for joining me today. Thank you so, so, so much. Don't forget, if you want to work with me one-on-one, all of the links are in the description box, or you can go to my website, onyxhealing.com. And until next time, have a wonderful August, and I will talk to you all later. Bye-bye.